Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's attorney Chris Nicolason coming to you from the office. It's definitely getting dark out outside right now. But tonight I wanted to talk about why making a phone call can be so important. So important not only, as attorneys who represent clients, talk to other attorneys, insurance adjusters, things like that, but also why it can be important in your own life. And so these days with communication, it's so easy to send a text, write an email, or just kind of, post something on social media. The problem that can happen with that a lot of times is things are misconstrued or misread. Even for us, we'll get a pleading, a complaint, an answer, we'll get an answer from somebody or a motion, and we read it, and then it's like we're making inferences in our head all the time. But, kind of trying to assume what the other attorney is trying to say on the other side. And the issue with that can be is that we're completely wrong. And so sometimes just picking up the phone and having a conversation with the other attorney can make a big difference. And it can really set the tone for how the rest of the case is or is not going to go for you. And the other interesting thing is if, we talk a lot here about how communication is so important and being open and honest with our clients. And so that's why we pick up the phone and we talk to them. And we talk to them as people who are going through a hard time. We don't just send them, we do send text throughout the case, but when it's time to have those important conversations, we're not just going to do that, over a text or an email. We may follow that up with an email saying, hey, just so, we don't forget and you don't forget, here's what we talked about tonight. But that kind of stuff too can really help put everybody on the same page if you just have a phone call. It gives people an opportunity to explain themselves and be open at that point, because now they've got a free forum to communicate, and actually they've got your ear while they can talk. And also you've got ears too, where you can just listen to them for a minute and actually hear their tone and inflections and where they're coming from and what frustrations they may be going through. So I think it's really important, if you're at a spot where you're kind of just frustrated with the other side, whatever, on this two-way street is, to pick up the phone and just have a conversation. Talk to them. It can be hard, but it's one of those things where it can be so important just to pick up the phone and say, hey, can we just talk for a minute? And here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? Definitely not get to a spot where you're trying to talk over each other or anything like that. Be reasonable and respectful, but just lay out what your thoughts are, and maybe even say, hey, I was totally reading this the wrong way, when you sent that text. I'm really glad we had the chance to talk. And a phone call can really do a lot. And so that's my thought for tonight is pick up the phone. We are a business that believes in open communication with our clients. We want to make sure we're having those conversations, even the hard ones, as we move forward. So hope everybody's having a good night, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye now.